I love this man authenticity. He did what he did in the second half without Mark Andrews, without Bateman. Gus Edwards goes down, Skip. He's 8 of 8, 94 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He had 42 yards rushing on a spectacular run. How he saw that guy behind him, Skip, he just automatically ducked and spun up out of it and got another 10 yards. Like he's like a spider, got eyes in the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the Ravens thought they were going to have to pay him or didn't want to pay him, you have to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
As Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price.
True.
It's going to cost him, Skip, and deservedly so. He's been everything. Whatever they thought Lamar Jackson could be when they selected him, when Ozzie Newsome traded back into the first round to select him 32nd, whatever they thought, he's better than what they thought. They lied if they say they thought he was going to win the MVP. Second, his first full, he started half the season. Flacco got hurt. They never took him to the playoffs.
Yep.
Boom. Come back the following year, wins the MVP unanimously. Only 2 guys have ever done that. He and Tom Brady. You got to pay him. You got to pay him, Skip. The way he played in that second half, that's a top 5 quarterback. The way he played in the second half, they can go places. Now, I need the defense to continue to play like they played. But if he plays like he played last night, Skip, because we see, Skip, they get out on everybody. They got a double-digit lead on everybody.
Everybody.
They got to pay him. It's going to cost them more than 133 guaranteed, maybe like 250 guaranteed.
Yeah. I hear everything you just said. I thought it was extremely significant that he, on the fly, stopped and looked down at that sign.
Let me get that.
Yeah, no, I think it had already fallen, hadn't it?
Yeah, I think they did. But he wanted to decide it because he went back and like, I ain't got no pen. Give me a pen.
Yeah, give me a pen. And he wanted to leap up and high five.
Yeah.
He wanted to make the statement, thank you. That's what I care about right now. I just went out and performed once again. I laid my body on the line for my team and my organization once again. And I think he lives and dies for Baltimore Ravens, and you know it well because you were there and you know what that tradition feels like. As I reported on my podcast that dropped yesterday morning, it's gotten a little sticky between Lamar and the coaches during the week because I think he loses heart because he feels like the organization is disrespecting him, and he has not been fully engaged from moment to moment during the week preparing for games. And I'm not defending it. I'm not condoning this. It's almost like he's holding out, quote unquote, without actually holding out.
Right.
But I definitely understand it because he plays with his heart. He lives with his heart. And I've told you 100 times on the show, that's why Brady blessed him on Instagram. His football character is high.
Yeah.
He is all in, and I never suggested in the podcast that he gives less than his best during games because when it's time to play, he's going to give you every last ounce he had, and you saw it again last night.
Yep.
But it's so dicey during the week because he's like, what am I doing here? How can you disrespect me when I've given you so much? I won a unanimous MVP. And you're making me slog through this day after day.
Yep.
You're making me play with this cloud over my head, prepare with this cloud over my head. So I've got a source in the locker room who said he's occasionally a little bit late for meetings, a little bit late for practice, just to remind everybody, do you know what you're putting me through? So I'm going to show you, I'm going to protest a little bit here. It's not wrecking the team, but he is very unhappy with the way he's being treated, and I don't blame that 1 ounce.
Of Skip. You would have thought they learned a lesson from Jerry Jones.
I would agree.
You see Jerry Jones, what he did, how he lollygagged and messed around, and ended up having to give Dak probably $30 more million than what he would have had to give him.
That is correct, and to this moment, I don't think he trusts the money that he had to pay him. They do trust him 1,000%. All they don't trust is, if you're going to keep playing the way you need to play, are you going to be healthy enough to withstand 5 years of guaranteed money?
All I'm playing is like how y'all call plays. Y'all got me in this offense to do this. So, hey, if y'all want me to run less, change the offense to allow me to throw more. Otherwise, I got to play to win ball games.
Yeah. He doesn't, to me, run that much.
No, he doesn't run like it.
Hey, but when he does run, it's just absolutely breathtaking to me.
I thought he's done a much better job this year, Skip,
protecting himself,
breaking the pocket and not looking to run, looking to find receivers down the field. I thought he was an A+ last night. He was sensational last night.
Yep. Well, you know what? On a big stage like that, it was a great move, a shrewd move on his part to go pick that sign up while you're still on TV and go thank that fan for that.
But Skip, the Ravens should know. They ran into the same problem with Joe Flacco.
They did. Yeah, but they look back on that and they paid him for what he had done, and then he couldn't live up to his end of the bargain.
And Joe Flacco wasn't.
No, not even, no. Although Joe Flacco in the postseason, you got to give it to him.
But you, Skip, when you got Hall of Famer Ray Lewis, you got Hall of Famer Ed Reed, you got Hall of Famer Terrell Suggs on the defense side.
I think you're going to be okay. You got 3 great bodyguards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, look, all the cards are on the table. Lamar certainly not being subtle about what he expects and deserves.
250.
All right, guys, is Kevin Durant to blame for the Nets' early struggles? It has certainly not been the start to the season they expected. That's coming up when Undisputed.
The Falcons are leading the division right now at 3-4. The Bucs are in second at 3-5. Now, if the Falcons lose on Sunday, the Panthers and Saints win, everybody's 3-5. So no, they're not out of the playoffs. Somebody's got to go to the playoffs. And if the Falcons, the Bucs have already beaten the Falcons, Skip. So all they got to do is finish the season with the same record, beat them twice. We'd have them, we swept you in the division, so we win the division. No, they're not out of it. I don't see the Falcons winning out. Come on. Here's the quarterbacks. Marcus Mariota for the Falcons. Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston for the Saints. P.J. Walker or Baker Mayfield for Carolina. Maybe sprinkle in some Sam Darnold. Stop it. They still should be the favorite. Although they're not playing well, they still should be the favorite to come out of that division. Now, they're not going to be as formidable. People are not going to fear them like they did the first year round, Skip, when they came out and they were smoking. That defense was playing lights out football, and Tom had found his rhythm with those receivers. And teams like, oh, man, even though they're going to be on the road, man, Tampa's not going to be an easy out. I don't think anybody that faces them now, Skip, fears them whatsoever.
I agree.
And so, no, I don't. Like I said, their schedule is very. I mean, they get the Rams and the Seahawks. Geno Smith is playing unbelievable. At the Browns, Saints at home, 49ers at 49ers. We know now Brady thing. Now if they get Armstead back, you talk about can get after the quarterback. Yeah, they can get after the quarterback. The Bengals, they can run the football with P. Ryan and Mixon, and they might be just not getting. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They probably get Jamar Chase back because Jamar Chase is supposed to miss 4 to 6 weeks. They get him back. You got to go to the Cardinals. So, Skip, this schedule is not very easy.
It's not easy.
But I'm sure guess what? The Falcons and Carolina got some of these same teams on their schedule. So for me, Skip, no, they're not out of it. They're not out of it by a long shot.
Even though you continue to harp on the fact that Tom Brady is playing bad, or to be correct, badly, right?
Even though he's playing badly, he's still better than Mariota. He's still better than
So you're just saying strictly by default, he will survive to a home playoff game, correct?
Yes.
And then are you ready to go out on a limb and predict that they will get blown out in a home playoff game?
No, it's all about matchups. It's all about who they play. If they were in the NFC East and they had a 3-5 record, would you say they're going to be Mr. Playoffs? You absolutely would. But because they're playing in this bad division, they're right there in the thick of it.
But to your point, the Giants are the surprise team of the NFL so far, and I'm not sure my Cowboys are going to be able to rise above the Giants. I'm not sure about that.
But I'm saying with the Giants, but you still got Philly and you got the Cowboys in that division.
No, I'm saying, are 3 going to go?
I believe they're
better.
Yeah, considering, Skip, when you look at the other divisions, only one team's coming out of the South. It looks like maybe only one team is going to come out of the West now.
Probably looks like it, unless you want to make a case.
So what's going to happen in the North? It looks like Minnesota. I don't think you got Green Bay winning Sunday night against Buffalo? Or would they play Sunday night, Monday? Sunday night.
Sunday night. No, I do not. Obviously, I do not.
So.
I mean, they're 11.5-point dogs.
But, yeah, think about it. Somebody's going to be leading this division. Falcons could be leading this division at 4-4.
Okay. So back to what Ryan Fitzpatrick said on Amazon Prime late last night. The Bucs are broken. As I led off the show today, the Buccaneers have turned back into the pre-Brady Succaneers. They don't turn the ball over the way Jameis did. They just make all kinds of mental blunders and errors that are not befitting of a potential championship team. They look lost on offense. They are now lost on defense. They are 23rd in the league against the run. They are dead last in running the football.
Yeah.
That's broken and upon broken. So to me, how do you fix this? How on the fly? Now you get a mini bye, right?
Yeah, you got 10 days.
Okay. What do you do here? How do you shake it up? Todd Bowles keeps saying, I'm going to look at serious changes. Serious changes how? Because you can't go out and get somebody. You're strapped against the cap because you paid everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's a no-hoper unless there's one human out there, and I keep bringing him up. His name is Rob Gronkowski. He could help fix. I'm not saying he'd come in and be the savior of this, but I kept saying somewhere around November 1st, here we go. We're